Grace and peace, everybody. You Christians don't know, esoterically speaking, the sun is really the sun, or Jesus is the sun, and the zodiac are his 12 disciples. People often send me comments like that, and different comments. That's what we call astrotheology. Astrotheology was popular. Gerald Massey is one of those persons that was influential in pushing that doctrine, himself and Manly P. Hall. Gerald Massey argued from a Gnostic point of view, and these are later manuscripts, Nag Hammadi, these are later manuscripts that came in the middle to the end of the 2nd century when Gnosticism was popular. But we have a problem with that when you start saying that Jesus never existed and Jesus is really the Son, and his 12 disciples are symbolic of the 12 houses in the zodiac. Even Carlton Pearson, who was a Pentecostal bishop back in the days, he's he's what we call an apostate right now. He actually teaches the same thing. He teaches that doctrine also with the different houses, and we were in Pisces coming into the age of Aquarius, and it's a whole bunch of madness. People say you Christians don't know the Bible's an esoteric book, but we have a problem with that, and one of the problems we have with that is the epistle. We have what scholars call the Pauline epistles. We have undisputed Pauline epistles, and the book of Galatians is what scholars call an undisputed Pauline epistle, which is a primary source. We consider that a primary source. It was written by the Apostle Paul, and he said that he went up to Jerusalem and he met Peter, James, and John, who were pillars in the church. Another primary source is Josephus. Josephus was born in 37 A.D. Josephus speaks of Jesus' brother. Now, if Jesus was the son, and his brothers and the apostles were supposed to be the different houses in the zodiac, why would Josephus, who was a primary source, speak of him as a real person? Why would the Apostle Paul in the book of Galatians, which is undisputed among scholars, that the Apostle Paul wrote that is considered a primary source, why would he speak about Peter, James, and John as actual individuals that he sat down and had dinner with, that he had conversation with? We have to look at stuff like that. But people listen to Gerald Massey. He was a chief druid, who was a spiritualist, a chariot S, and a whole bunch of other stuff from the Da Vinci Code, a bunch of madness, but it's not based on scholarship, it's not based on primary sources, and it's not based on historical facts. How can the Apostle Paul sit down with Peter, James, and John? How can Josephus, who was alive at the time, who's primary, how can he speak about the death of Jesus' brother if these are astronomical figures in the sky, and this is an allegorical story? It doesn't make no sense. A lot of people, it doesn't make no sense. A lot of people just make comments, but it's madness. It's all madness. If you like what you heard, subscribe. You've been watching Berean TV. Thanks for watching.